Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. It is not fair to ask of others what you are not willing to do yourself. With the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor. A woman is like a bag. You can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water. You must do the things you think you cannot do. Freedom makes a huge requirement of every human being. With freedom comes responsibility. For the person who is unwilling to grow up, the person who does not want to carry his own weight. This is a frightening prospect. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. Remember always that you not only have the right to be an individual, you have an obligation to be one. Happiness is not a goal. It is a byproduct. Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway. You'll be damned if you do, and damned if you don't. The giving of love is an education in itself. In the long run, we shape our lives and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die, and the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility. Never allow a person to tell you no who doesn't have the power to say yes. It isn't enough to talk about peace. One must believe in it. And it isn't enough to believe in it. One must work at it. You have to accept whatever comes, and the only important thing is that you meet it with courage and with the best that you have to give. People grow through experience if they meet life honestly and courageously. This is how character is built. It takes as much energy to wish as it does to plan. Since you get more joy out of giving joy to others, you should put a good deal of thought into the happiness that you are able to give. We are afraid to care too much for fear that the other person does not care at all. Justice cannot be for one side alone, but must be for both. When life is too easy for us, we must beware, or we may not be ready to meet the blows which sooner or later come to everyone, rich or poor. Understanding is a two-way street. Life must be lived and curiosity kept alive. One must never, for whatever reason, turn his back on life. Autobiographies are only useful as the lives you read about and analyze may suggest to you something that you may find useful in your own journey through life. Friendship with oneself is all important because without it, one cannot be friends with anyone else in the world. One's philosophy is not best expressed in words. It is expressed in the choices one makes. And the choices we make are ultimately our responsibility. It is not more vacation we need, it is more vocation. Perhaps nature is our best assurance of immortality. You can never really live anyone else's life, not even your child's. The influence you exert is through your own life, and what you've become yourself. When will our consciences grow so tender that we will act to prevent human misery rather than avenge it? When you cease to make a contribution, you begin to die. Only a man's character is the real criterion of worth. Have convictions. Be friendly. Stick to your beliefs as they stick to theirs. Work as hard as they do. Old age has deformities enough of its own. It should never add to them the deformity of vice. There are practical little things in housekeeping which no man really understands. The only advantage of not being too good a housekeeper is that your guests are so pleased to feel how very much better they are. What you don't do can be a destructive force. What one has to do usually can be done. Ambition is pitiless. Any merit that it cannot use, it finds despicable. Hate and force cannot be in just a part of the world without having an effect on the rest of it. The only things one can admire at length are those one admires without knowing why. The battle for the individual rights of women is one of long standing, and none of us should countenance anything which undermines it. As for accomplishments, I just did what I had to do as things came along. Anyone who thinks must think of the next war as they would of suicide. The mother of a family should look upon her housekeeping and the planning of meals as a scientific occupation. Actors are one family over the entire world.